Hi, today we're going to talk all about James Rollins. Thank you for joining me, and let's take this adventurous ride to get to know all about his life. On August 20th, 1961, in Chicago, Illinois, Rollins was born. He grew up in a Polish Roman Catholic family of 7 children, of which he was the 3rd child. Growing up, his mother, who inspired him to read, would take him to the library every Saturday as their special entertainment. Now, let's listen to Rollins himself as he tells us how his storytelling began in his life.
Billy's here, great. Billy's very rarely here. This is a rare sighting of my brother Bill. Everybody look at him. He works for the government, and he's usually on assignment around the world. I secretly think he's a spy. He denies it. He says he works for the Commerce Department. I don't believe it. He's positioned at different embassies. But that's him now. Let's go back in the past. So Chuck and Billy shared my bedroom. I had this doll. What am I going to do with this thing? So I thought, okay, I have an idea. I got my copy of Lord of the Rings. At the back of Lord of the Rings, there's a bunch of runes. Runes, R-U-N-E-S. And so I got a sheet of paper, and I wrote down the runes onto the sheet of paper, just scribbled them on there. Crumpled up the sheet of paper, burned the edges with a little bit of match, folded that up and stuck it in the pocket of the doll. Hey, Chuck, there's something weird about this doll. There's something in its pocket. I feel something in there. What is it? Well, go check. All right. My brother really doesn't talk like that, but let's pretend he does. So he opens up the sheet of paper and goes, wow, it's got some weird writing on it. This looks, let me see that, Chuck. You know, this looks really old. Yeah, it does. Almost ancient. You think so? This might be like a treasure map or a secret code or a magic spell. He says, you know what, Chuck? I think I recognize this writing. He says, you do? He says, yeah, hang on a second. So again, I got my copy of Lord of the Rings, flipped to the back, and go, look, it's the same writing. It is. I think I can translate this. So I spent a few moments translating it. First word, beware. Oh, Chuck, beware. Do you want me to, should I continue? Yeah, all right. Beware, after midnight, I rise and hunt for blood. Chuck's eyes get huge. Do you think it could be real? It looks real, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, just to be careful, we should probably take a few precautions before we go to bed. So when the midnight hour rolls around, it's secure. So I just reinforced it over a couple of weeks. Chuck, is the doll locked in the closet? Yeah, it's in the closet. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Go check. All right. Is it in the closet? Yeah. Did he shut it so the door clicks? Make sure. He might push out. Just reinforce that a few weeks. Then the fun begins. You get up about 2 o'clock in the morning, go to the closet, take the doll out, stick it underneath my brother's blankets, and then just wait for morning. Required changing a few sheets, but it was still worth it. So I got a lot of play out of that doll. It was like the best toy ever. Put it up in the closet, tied a little piece of thread from the closet to the doorknob, opens the door, the doll comes flying at you. Oh, it was good fun. So again, that was the beginning of what I call storytelling. My mom called lying. What does she know?
So now that you've got an insight of James Rollins himself and of his personality as a child, let's take a look how he carried his interest into adulthood. Rollins attended the University of Missouri, which he studied in veterinary medicine because he wanted a stable career before he followed his dream of writing. Rollins' research in medicine has been a major influence in his writings. Rollins himself said that he will always use animals in his stories, whether or not they are ordinary pets or some extravagant animal. James Rollins is an expert in writing scientific, and adventurous thrillers. In every novel, he brings out and exposes the roots of human intelligence, deciphering every aspect who we are and where we are headed in the future. His stories are filled with many historical secrets and unseen worlds that he has discovered from his travels across the world. His purpose is to interest and intrigue readers with secrets about facts that they may have never thought would be realistic. To attract the reader's attention, Rollins uses thrilling and adventurous stories to bring the facts to life. James Rollins even said in an interview, "There are 3 things I like to involve in my novels. I take a piece of history that maybe ends in a question mark so that I can pursue an answer, or maybe that bit of science that makes me wonder, what if this happened?" And the exotic location which I get to travel myself because of my work. All of which, most of these locations include the United States and Europe, as well as New Zealand, South Pacific, China, Southeast Asia, Africa, Australia, and South America. He is also a certified scuba enthusiast and an amateur spelunker, which is a cave enthusiast. Rollins places his characters in settings of water and caves because he finds that enjoyable in his life. James Rollins said himself, "Oh, I think each and every one of my novels has some character either heading underwater or underground. It allows me to live vicariously through my characters as I am landlocked in my office." My favorite thing about Rollins is his personality and his interest, whether it is animals, traveling, or helping humanity. He ties adventure into facts and history, which makes me find it interesting and enjoyable. As a writer, he seeks to strike the hearts of his readers in order to lift up people to explore and imagine the different possibilities life has to offer, the good and the bad, the light and the dark, all the hidden corners of life.